Okay, the last lesson or the last step is how to make a parametric deck inside this. So as you can see here, we're going to talk about an offsetting and also some movement techniques. So you can see that we can produce a parametric deck inside that. So that is actually going to be the solid we need. So for example, if I put it up here, you can see that this is going to be the deck of the bridge. So let's also learn this step by step. Okay, what I want to do is to turn off the custom preview. So we just need the naked edges to see that, and I'm going to turn off other parts. To make the deck, a technique you can use here is for the loft surface we have here. Let's first make an offset surface to make it inwards. So I'm going to go to distance, make it -x, and give this a number slider. So for example, it's going to be from 0 to whatever we want. And what's happening here is that it's going a little bit inwards, okay? So we can make the deck go inside. After making this one, I'm going to just make cap holes to make it into a solid. It's going to be easier because what we want to do here is to then find a bounding box and then move the bounding box up and down and then just make the difference between this solid and the bounding box. Okay, to find the bounding box, I'm going to go to surface, primitive, and bounding box of this brep. The plane is really important. If you remember the parts we talked about making the mirror and construct plane, I'm just going to turn this on here. Instead of the x-axis, I'm going to use the y-axis, and this is going to be exactly to the plane of the bounding box. This is going to help us to make the bounding box exactly in the orientation of the bridge. And now that we have the bounding box, we just have to find the height and move it up and down. So I'm going to deconstruct the box. With a list item, pick up one of the edges. This is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. I usually just zoom in and hit plus to go outwards in the list. And usually the -1 is the edge I want. And just go to the params menu, pick the number, and this is the length we need. So it's like 127. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to move the bounding box in the Z direction. It can be, if we have this here, it can go maximum up to -1 multiplied by the height, or plus, doesn't really matter, it can be +1 or -1 at the down here by height, right? So what we have to do here is to make a number slider between -1 and 1 with 3 decimals, for example, and multiply that with the height and just give that to the Z. So you can see the -1 is going to be completely down. I think it's not going to have an intersection anyway, and we can go up to the maximum. Okay, and now we can just simply say intersection, shape, solid intersection, find the intersection between the cap and this moved part, and just turn off everything, and we will have the solid here easily. So you can see it here. That is exactly what we want to have for visualization. So what I want to do is to also go to the custom preview and give it like this. You can also use a brep edge to give it a more edge output. Okay, now I can just play around with this one. Is there any error that it's not showing the solid intersection? It says invalid brep. Okay, another way we can do this is go to the intersection and this time use the solid difference. So I'm going to say find the solid difference of the capped solid from this bounding box and use this one instead. I'm going to disable this one, and this time we have to go to the positive part, I think, and that's it. It's not going to give any errors, and that's going to solve the problem. So that's also really important. Instead of intersection, we have to find a difference, and it has to go upwards, right? So obviously we don't want to give this a negative number because it's going to make the upper part. But anyway, this is a good exercise to find the outputs here. I'm going to save this file so you can download it. If you have any questions, just ask below, and see you next time. Bye.